Hey everyone, we're back with Cooking with Courtney, and today we are going to be making homemade tomato soup and grilled cheese. It's delicious and yummy and really good for when it's cold outside. It's one of my favorites. So, first step, we are going to take the onions, 2 onions. We're going to chop them up after we wash our hands. So, first step is to just chop the onion in half, right down the middle. So you get 2 flat sides like that. I'm gonna cut off the little top, throw that to the side, and peel the onion. Same thing with the other side. I'm just gonna do the same thing with the second onion. Cut it in half. Cut off the top and peel it. Okay. So now, chopped means rough squares. So what I like to do is cut lines towards the root right here. It's called perpendicular. Okay. So you have some little cuts like that, and then you go the opposite way. Woo. Slice it. Have it roughly chopped. Alright, I'm going to keep going with all the onions. Do the same thing. Cutting onions makes me cry. This is normal, it's okay. If you need someone's help, you can ask for it. Whew, these ones are bad. All right. Now, we need to take 3 garlic cloves and mince them. But first, why don't we, just to get these onions cooking a little bit, we're gonna get a pot and some olive oil. So a pot like this on your stove, and then we're gonna put 3 tablespoons of olive oil. I'll show you. Get a tablespoon. 1, 2, 3. Now, turn it to medium heat and get the pot warmed up for the onions. So what we can do is Once the pot has heated up a little bit, like a minute or two, we're gonna take the onions and start cooking them on medium to low heat. We're gonna cook them for about 15 minutes. So while they're cooking, we can cut up our garlic. That'll be easier because man, these onions, ooh, they make me cry. All right. Take the onions and put them in the pot. I'm gonna grab a wooden spoon and just give them a stir so they get all coated in the olive oil. Like that. I'm gonna turn my stove down to low right now while I get the garlic minced, which means diced really small. So we need 3 cloves, so you break up this big garlic bulb into 3 of these little cloves. 1. Kind of push down. Yank on it a little bit. Break it open with your hands. Alright. So here we are. 3 garlic cloves. A way to get the outside off and peel it is I take a knife or another flat object like this, put it flat and push down. And then it breaks open. And you get the clove on the inside. Peeling the garlic cloves before we cut them. Okay. Now that they're peeled, some kind of got crushed. It's okay, I'm just gonna take one of the pieces of garlic and cut it in half. So it has a flat end. Cut it in half again. Times. So it's long little pieces, and then I'm going to slice the other way. Very small pieces. I kind of just keep chopping over all the pieces to make them smaller. Just keep doing that with the rest of the garlic. Make little slices. And then slice the other way. Making sure your fingers are out of the way. And then kind of just chop back over it. Another good way to do this is to use a garlic crusher. Well, they look like this. This is a garlic crusher. And what you do is you just put the garlic clove in the little pull, and then make sure the little press is on top of the garlic clove like that. And then you take the two ends and you push them together. And then it makes the garlic into little small pieces for you. That's one way. Or you can cut it like I was showing you. Either way. Just put the garlic clove in the little slot and squish. And I take a knife to cut off the edge. Cut off the little garlic pieces. Okay. There you go. We have some minced garlic right here. So, now we're going to go check on the onions and stir. We're cooking them on medium to low for 15 minutes. So we should have set a timer before we did the garlic. That's okay. I'm gonna do it now. Just keep stirring it every once in a while. Let it cook for 15 minutes. All right, my timer's gone off and it's been 15 minutes. This is what the onion looks like now. It's kind of starting to brown and get what we call translucent. You can see through it a little bit more. It's not as white. And now we are going to add our garlic and cook that for 1 minute. And I'm just gonna keep stirring this for 1 minute. I set a timer. All right. So the watch timer went off. That's been 1 minute. Now we are going to get our vegetable broth and use a can opener to open these tomatoes. Now we're going to pour these both in with the onions and the garlic. I'm going to pour the whole container of broth, that's 4 cups, and pour the whole can of tomatoes in, 28 ounces. I save a little bit of broth at the end and pour it in the can to get all the leftover tomatoes off the side. And then we're gonna add a tablespoon of salt and a teaspoon of pepper. I'm gonna stir this up. And then I wanna bring it to a boil. So I turned the heat up on the stove to high. that's what it all looks like. We're waiting for bubbles to start happening and it boil. All right, so now, look at that. The soup is boiling. So, now that it's boiling, we're gonna turn it to low. And we're gonna let it simmer for 15 minutes, okay? So, I'm gonna stir this one more time. Set a timer for 15 minutes. You wanna stir it every couple minutes or so, just make sure it's blending together. Sticking to the bottom. All right, our 15-minute timer went off. So now our next step is we're gonna take half a cup of heavy cream and add it to the soup. So this is half a pint, which is a cup. So you're gonna use about half of this. I'm gonna get a measuring cup. Gets a little pink or orange, less red. We're gonna let this simmer some more for about 10 more minutes. All right, so it's been 10 minutes of simmering and our soup is ready to eat. Here, I'll show you what it looks like. This recipe calls for it chunky. You'll see like all the tomatoes and onions in here, which tastes really good. So if you like it that way, you can leave it. Some people like a more smooth, less chunky tomato soup, so you can let this cool down a bit and carefully pour it into a blender. I would do half of it, blend it, and then the other half. Make it smoother. Or if you have one of these, it's called an immersion blender. You just plug it in and then stick it into the soup pot and then turn it on and it will blend it out. So it's really what you like. And now we will make the grilled cheese to go with it. So now it is time to make our grilled cheese to go with our tomato soup. Our first step is to put a pan on the stove and turn it to medium. Okay, oh, medium. All right, now we butter our bread slices. So each person is gonna get 2 slices of bread for 1 sandwich. You can melt your butter. I always keep some soft on the counter, so I'm just gonna take some and spread it on the bread. Put some bread on one slice. Put some butter on one slice and then on the other. It's about 1 tablespoon of butter, half a tablespoon on each slice. Okay, so there. Our bread has the butter on it. Now we're going to turn the slices over and we're going to take about 2 ounces of grated cheese. Put it, well, it's not going to fit on mine, but put it on your slice of bread. Having grated cheese just helps it melt faster. Okay. It's a lot of cheese. Oh well, we'll see what works. Okay. And then I'm gonna put the bread on top. And then I'm gonna bring it over to the pan. cook it for 2 to 3 minutes each side. Until it gets brown. And the cheese gets all melted. It's been about 1 minute. I'm gonna wait another minute or two. Okay, it's been about 2 minutes. I'm gonna carefully put my spatula underneath and do my best to flip it over. So you'll see it's getting nice and brown on one side. The cheese is starting to melt. It's been about 2 minutes. I'm going to turn off the pan and I'm going to bring it over to the cutting board. And let it sit on the cutting board for 1 minute. And then I'm going to cut the grilled cheese in half. I like to go diagonal like this. There you go. Grilled cheese. So now we just put the soup in a bowl, put the grilled cheese on a plate on the side, and you can dip the grilled cheese in or just eat it however you want. And that's how you make easy tomato soup and grilled cheese. I hope you enjoyed cooking with Courtney this week, and I will see you all next time. Bye!